Okay, so today is sort of like part two of the best of the rest because I've already made one today, but there's been so much football lately. I've decided I'm going to make another little mini one. So we'll start off with Belgium v Morocco. Morocco, I mean, winning 2-0 against Belgium should in theory be a shock, but it says an awful lot about Belgium that this isn't a shock. So that they have been really poor and are far from the second best team in world football that the FIFA World Rankings would suggest they are. Yeah, but this game was a bit of a false dawn for Belgium, I thought, because they started the game quite well, better than they did against Canada, I thought. And they had made a couple of changes, and Arna came in for Tielemans, Torgan Hazard, that is, came in for Carrasco, and that gave them a little bit more athleticism and energy. And in this game, they were actually slightly better than they were against Canada, I thought. They were still the worst team in both games, by the way, but I thought in this game they were slightly better. But this game, they came up against better opponents, simple as really. And they did have a better start to this game, though. And Morocco did have to defend quite a lot of corners early on, which Belgium were managed to get themselves. But the game did start to slow down after about the 30th minute mark, and it came after a bright Belgian start, but they still didn't create many out and out chances really, and Hakimi probably had the best chance of the first half for Morocco when his shot was saved on a counter attack. But they did get a free kick, Morocco, right at the end of the half. Ziyech, you just look at him and he's about to take it, and you're thinking, right, even though this is an incredibly tight angle, you just think, okay, there's a chance something special could happen here because of what he's done in the past. He whips it in. Saiss is offside and he runs across the ball, pretends to head it, and it is interfering with play. The ball does go past Courtois, but it is correctly disallowed because Courtois was wrong-footed by Saiss running in to head it. Saiss actually ran into the post, poor guy. It was correctly disallowed in my opinion. And that was it for half time really. And second half, Morocco were just getting more shots off than Belgium. They were by far the better side second half, Morocco over Belgium. And it was just a really sharp start from them. And Belgium even decided, with the pressure they were taking from Morocco in the second half, that they decided to switch formation, which is unheard of for Roberto Martinez, especially at Belgium, to not play 3-4-3. So they switched it to a 4-2-3-1, made a couple of changes, bringing the likes of Trossard and Mertens on. And it didn't seem to make that much of a difference. Morocco were just getting forward so well. And Boufal and Ziyech were just performing absolute witchcraft with the ball at their feet at times when dribbling with it up against the Belgian fullbacks. Lightning did strike twice for Morocco. This time it was the substitute who I think had just come on for Boufal actually, and Boufal looked disappointed when he came off because he was playing well. And it was Sabiri who took the free kick. Same thing again, this time no offside, and it just goes straight in. Brilliant free kick routine once again, and Courtois was bamboozled by it again. This time though, they stayed onside, so it counted. And just poor from Belgium second half. Trossard and Mertens in the second half were probably their two best players, the only ones who looked like doing anything really. And Trossard in particular, I think it's an absolute disgrace how he's not starting for Belgium over Eden Hazard after what, if you compare the past 2 seasons of both of their careers, Trossard has to start, and he has to start in the final game against Croatia, I think. Just poor from Belgium. And you think the way they played, they'd be on 0 points, but they're on 3 somehow. I still don't know how they won that game against Canada. And the second goal, poor defending from Belgium, brilliant setup by Ziyech, and a brilliant finish by Abdakal. I struggled with his name when he did score. But Morocco was so much better this game and definitely deserved the 3 points, and it wasn't even a shock in the end. And then the final game I wanted to cover today was Croatia beating Canada by 4 goals to 1. It was a brilliant start to the game from Canada, brilliant cross from Buchanan and a great header from Alphonso Davies. He had to use every bit of his pace he had to get onto it, and because of the pace he had, he generated lots of power on it because he was full on flying onto it. And yeah, it just was another sluggish start from Croatia after a poor opening game against Morocco. And the few times they did get forward in the opening half an hour, I think the thing that gave them a bit more confidence was the fact that Canada's goalkeeper Bojan had a few moments where he didn't really make any errors, but he just showed signs of not being the most comfortable when the ball came to him. So I think that gave him a little bit. It gave Croatia a little bit more confidence. And yeah, Canada, first half an hour were absolutely superb. So much energy from Alphonso Davies and Buchanan. But after a while, they just started to take their foot off the gas, almost like as if, right, we'll just keep the 1-0 lead until half time. But that's when it started to go wrong for them, because when they're not using their energy and getting forwards, they are leaving holes at the back because they just don't have the defenders to play at this level. I know it sounds harsh, but it is the truth. They're good going forward, but poor defensively, Canada. And Kramaric, he scored a goal that was offside, took it well, but offside was the correct decision. And yeah, it was almost as well like a battle between like two midfield veterans in Luka Modric and Atiba Hutchinson. Obviously, Luka Modric is the player with a greater career, I think that's fair to say. But yeah, the Kramaric did equalise, and this time it was allowed. It was a good move, good pass from Perisic, and a really tidy finish from Kramaric to equalise. And yeah, as I said, Canada had just started to slow down the game a little bit, which didn't suit them at all. And Livia put Croatia ahead just before half-time. Again, another brilliant strike, this time from just outside the box, to put them ahead at half-time. And yeah, Canada just left too many gaps at the back. Although second half, they were still creating chances though. And on another day, they could have maybe scored another 1 or 2 goals, because they were getting shots off, in fairness to them. But yeah, Kramaric pretty much wrapped the game up by scoring the 3rd goal. And again, another really well taken goal. The thing is Croatia, the goals they scored were really good goals. So it wasn't like Canada had, it could have been like 5 or 6 to Croatia. That wasn't the case at all. It was just when Croatia did get shots off, they just happened to go in. Was the problem for Canada. But yeah, they did just run out of steam in the second half, Canada, struggling to get forward, and they didn't have the defensive nous to deal with it really. And yeah, Canada, they have a solid foundation to build upon for 2026, I think. They've definitely got the attacking players. Attacking wise, this World Cup, they've been really unlucky. They've scored 1 goal. They could have scored 5 or 6 easily, I think, especially in that Belgium game. So yeah, they definitely have something to build upon for when they host the next World Cup. They just need to improve defensively a fair bit, and they could, potentially get out of the group stage next time, because they've been in a tough group this World Cup. Belgium, Croatia, Morocco isn't an easy group at all, despite how poor Belgium are. But yeah, Croatia, they took a game and a quarter to get going, but once they got going, they full on kicked into gear, and it'll be interesting to see how they do now, because my opinion from about half time in that game to full time definitely changed of them, because they were very good and clinical going forwards in this game. They made it 4-1 right at the end, Maya scoring a goal. It was a terrible and horrifying error from Miller. You feel sorry for him, and Croatia got them on the counter attack. But once it was squared from Orsic, I think it was, to Maya, both the substitutes, and Maya scored like his first ever World Cup goal. It's a good goal, tapping. He doesn't smile one bit. He just looked pissed off. You could at least, be happy about scoring at a World Cup.